any more pieces of information, and certainly we should be sending someone out that way in case there's any damage or any additional damage on top of what we've been hearing about. We're just getting some new information from the Burnet County Office of Emergency Management. He's typing as I check this, so he is now going to be, okay, Northeastern Burnet County Fire Department reporting it's getting rain wrapped, so they've lost the visuals from their position. They did see some good lowering before they lost the visuals. So no confirmation that this is back on the ground just yet, but no guarantee that it isn't either.
Yeah, they're actually saying that it's about 2 miles northwest of Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they have posted so far.
Yeah, so if you're in Briggs, and we'll want to pop up those tornado safety precautions again, if you're in Briggs, interior room, lowest level of your home, away from windows, you do not want to be in a mobile home given the tornado threat.
And Muhammad's in this polygon too.
Okay. All right, and we've got 183 right there. So this potential tornado is just about on top of 183, just like half an hour ago. Very slow motion with this storm. That gives you ample time to prepare, but it also means that once the storm has arrived, it's going to sit on top of you for a long time, producing a lot of rain. There's going to be a flash flooding threat, I would imagine, in northeastern Burnet County, given the continuous nature of this storm. All right, we've got that Gabe Cox live shot on the right-hand side of your screen. It does look like it is trying to lower now in northeastern Burnet County in the Briggs area. Let's take that shot full screen. It looks like it is trying to do something more than just lower. If we can take that full screen there, northeastern Burnet County, the potential of a tornado developing.
That's dropping. Right
now. It does look like it's dropping. We'll have to wait and see if we see any debris below that lowering. What was that?
Jordan's live shot is up. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, while we've got, I believe we've got more reporters standing by here for some information, but just while we've got a potential tornado about to drop down, we're going to keep on this, but if we can actually take Gabe's shot full screen, I think we may be able to get a little more clarity about what's happening if we can see it a little bigger, because it could be that a tornado is dropping down right as we speak. And I certainly appreciate our directors flowing and rolling with the punches here as we're juggling a lot of pieces and a lot of technology where we're trying our very best to relay potentially life-saving information to those of you in northeastern Burnet County. So this is a live view, and Jen, interrupt me if you hear anything from Gabe. But this is a live view in the Briggs area. The potential tornado is northwest of Briggs. That sure looks like a funnel cloud for me. We've got another shot here from our reporter Sarah Alsheh there at 183 in Briggs. And they're watching that rain-wrapped funnel cloud now. And feel free to jump back and forth between shots as they're repositioning as well. Let's try and go back to Gabe's shot. Okay, there it is. So this is a funnel cloud there in just northwest of the center of Briggs. Last position check was about 2 miles northwest of the center of Briggs. So this is a funnel cloud that's been attempting to drop down, and certainly those of you in northeastern Burnet County, you need to be in your tornado safe place right now. It almost looks like it is coming down even lower. And if any of you see debris, shout. But we've got what is a developing, okay, this looks like it's on the ground now. I think I see some debris at the bottom of your screen. So we're almost going to call it another confirmed tornado now.
Debris spotted, debris spotted,
Yeah.
Okay.
debris spotted.
All right, so live on your screen, another tornado has developed in northeastern Burnet County. This is just 2 miles northwest, roughly, of the center of Briggs. Jen, you've got some information?
Yes, so Gabe just said via text that it is confirmed tornado right by Briggs, as you just said. He is right there right now, and he is sending more information momentarily about what he's seeing as well as what he's feeling in that area.
Okay, and just because the condensation funnel, which is the dark gray piece, doesn't reach the ground, doesn't mean you don't have a tornado on the ground. You can still get the rotating winds to actually drop below the condensation funnel, which is why it may look not quite as stereotypical of a tornado that you would think. Yes?
I actually was saying that it's very close to touching the ground. Northeast Burnet County reporting the same, that it's essentially from closer. They're seeing it almost touching the ground at this point.
Okay, thank you so much, Freddie. Appreciate that. So, and these reports, even if they were from a few seconds ago, this is changing a lot. It's going to touch down and potentially lift back up and maybe touch down again. Position-wise, this is right near 183, just to the west-northwest of the center of Briggs. While it may be obscured from everything we know, this is a tornado on the ground right now. Our second tornado of the day in roughly the same area, a little farther south than our original one, but we've got a tornado on the ground now, northeastern Burnet County. If you're in Briggs, you want to be in your tornado safe space. Now we've got a second live shot from our reporter Sarah Alsheh. She is out there near Briggs as well from a different vantage point. Yep, any potential debris may be obscured by the trees there at the bottom of the screen, and maybe they can tilt their shot down if they can hear us. I'm not entirely sure. But it does look like this tornado is still on the ground. Everything that we're seeing is suggesting that. I'm just looking at more information here as far as anyone else seeing it from a different angle and if we're getting any damage reports, and so far, nothing yet. Let's be on the lookout for any power outage information as well in northeastern Burnet County and maybe the Burnet County Sheriff's Office too. Let's try and get back to Gabe's shot. I think it's a little easier to see the base of this tornado if we have Gabe's shot still up. Okay, so you can see somewhat of a cone structure to this tornado. It's raining obviously where he is, and this tornado may be obscured a little bit by the rain, which is why we're having a bit of a tough time determining whether it's still on the ground, whether it has touched down and lifted up, or whether it's just been hovering slightly off the ground. Got a new tornado warning now. Are they confirming it in the tornado warning, guys?
As of now, it doesn't look like it. Let me go back in real quick. Looks like, give me just a second. Severe thunderstorm
They
warning.
threw a radar indicated
Tornado.
tag on it still.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so the National Weather Service are still saying radar indicated. It looked very much to us like this was on the ground. We've got two views. Okay, on the left is storm chaser Gabe Cox. On the right is our Sarah Alsheh with her photojournalist, and you're seeing two angles of this. We'll call it now a potential tornado because it may have lifted.
And Nick, they actually just said this was just moments ago.
Yeah.
Tornado warning remains in effect until 5:45 p.m. for northwestern Williamson and northeastern Burnet counties.
Okay, so especially for you in northeastern Burnet County near Briggs, you still want to be doing your tornado safety precautions. In northwestern Williamson County, basically west of Florence, you're in the tornado warning box. Right now, be ready to move to a tornado safe place, but the storm is still a ways away from moving into Williamson County from Burnet County.
And it looks like now National Weather Service rotation is now just 1 mile from Briggs.
1 mile from Briggs, yeah, just northwest, if not due west of Briggs is where the rotation is, almost right on top of 183. So on the top left, you're looking at our storm chaser, Gabe Cox. He's repositioning. On the right, we've got Sarah Alsheh and our photojournalist, Jordan. They are keeping an eye on this storm from a different perspective, but we've got rain that may be getting in the way of seeing anything. Jen?
Okay, what I'm hearing from Gabe now is that it seems to have lifted, is what he says. He's not 100% sure, but he did have to reposition because it was so close to his location. So he's just going to safety, but he said that it was very close to him. He's still trying to assess what he's seeing now in that area.
Okay, good to hear. Certainly want Gabe taking his safety as a priority, and we appreciate all of our reporters and storm chasers out in the field today trying to get a perspective on this. While we don't have a clear view of a funnel at this point, let's go back to graphics, and Tommy, let's zoom into that rotation there west of Briggs. And this is the area of greatest concern right now. Remember, northeastern Burnet County in a tornado warning, and it's just west of Briggs along 183 that we have the tightest rotation. Just because we're not seeing it necessarily on the ground anymore does not mean that we don't have a tornado on the ground. Tommy's circulating the area of rotation that we're most concerned with. Red against green, you've got winds going opposite from each other, right next to each other. That's the rotation.
Yeah, I want to point out one more thing too. So we got 183.
Got your mic? There we go.
183 down to 138. So 138.
Start preparing now. It's EFM 243. So
Yeah.
you're still in that polygon.
East FM 2043. That rotation has now just moved, at least the tightest rotation, although less tight red
Yeah,
against
it's broadening
green.
a little bit. Still
Yeah.
seeing some impressive winds coming in right over. It just came over 183 in the past 10 minutes.
Yeah, so it's possible we're looking at more of a transition to wind damage, but for right now, until they drop this tornado warning, or until we see this weakening trend continue, we have to assume that there is still a tornado on the ground. Tommy, let's switch to reflectivity mode. Let's broaden out the view. Let's see if we've got any additional thunderstorms that have developed around central Texas and give some perspective about what's happening, because we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in portions of Burnet County.
Yes.
Not included in the tornado warning, that is, but that it does include the city of Burnet. This storm is moving off to the southeast, and generally speaking, with the exception of this one storm, large hail is actually our greatest concern today, even though we do have this storm that has been pulsing and producing tornadoes, as we've already seen. But Burnet County, large hail, your greatest threat. Lake Victor, you're not currently in this severe thunderstorm warning. The warning itself just begins east of Buchanan Dam. Let's switch on the hail mode quickly, and then we'll go back to that tornado warned storm.
Wow.
Because, yeah, you can see the significant hail that is also approaching Briggs.
And this is about probably about 10, 15 minutes behind, but just imagine where you're seeing that 2-inch plus is probably somewhere at Briggs, if
Yeah.
not moving down toward 183.
Yeah, we got to make sure our crews are avoiding that as well as the tornado. Let's look at the hail in the other storms, Tommy, real quick, since we haven't checked on our friends in western Burnet County with the hail. So
Yep.
you can scoot it on over. Okay, much less of a hail threat there, but certainly the potential
That one's
for
just
at
getting
least
together
some.
too, so we'll have to watch that.
Yeah, yeah. For right now, we're looking at about half-inch diameter hail there just west of the city of Burnet. So we'll keep an eye on that storm, but it further justifies our reasoning for focusing, of course, on the tornado-warned storm in northeastern Burnet County. Let's go back to the reflectivity and broaden out the view just a little bit more. I want to show what the metro looks like. Just to confirm, everyone's watching in Travis and Hayes County. We've got nothing. Northwestern Williamson County, though, you do have a thunderstorm. Portions of northwestern Williamson County are in the tornado warning, but the threat remains in Burnet County for the time being because of how slow the storm is moving. I don't anticipate it would be in northwestern Williamson County for quite some time.
Yeah, about 38 miles away from Austin, for
Yeah.
context for viewers at home.
So we've got plenty of time to watch this if it moves, if it continues to move in the general direction of the Austin Metro. But a reminder. Okay, we've got storm chaser Gabe Cox back up. He has just repositioned. He's been, I imagine, working his way a little farther south to get a better view of this potential tornado. Let's see if we can take that shot. Jen, are you getting any information?
So what Gabe just said was, he asked me, did you see the funnel in the video? But the top of that funnel was pretty much over his car. So that's why he had to reposition. I think that they're working out some technical difficulties now to get his shot back up. And I'm going to ask him where he's headed, and then we'll get more of a better.
Okay, yeah, and it does look like we've got Gabe's shot back up. This storm it looks like it's trying to strengthen back up again. It is very tough to tell these rain-wrapped storms and rain-wrapped tornadoes. It doesn't give you a clear view of what's happening below the lowering clouds from this view, but certainly Gabe is in a good position, as is Sarah and Jordan on the right-hand side of your screen, as at least a potential tornado continues to try redeveloping there near Briggs. The tightest rotation still just to the west of the center of Briggs, near 183. And we're going to continue to watch this. And remember, if you're in Briggs, really if you're in northeastern Burnet County, you want to be inside, interior room, away from walls. And you can take us with you. I believe we're streaming our coverage now. You can also turn up your TV as loud as you can and head into that interior closet. That may give you enough protection here. As many walls between you and the outside as possible, especially as we're seeing some of the wind threat increasing southwest of Briggs. Even if it's not a tornado, damaging winds are certainly dangerous and potentially deadly.
Nick, I have a I have a velocity update to share with you. Within the past scan, we're seeing now a significant strengthening yet again of winds. So we're going to have to see if this thing tries to come together and drop. Again, significant right over 183. We're seeing this gate to gate, looking a little more textbook right now, moving south down 183.
And Nick, we actually have some video of some of the hail damage that that you were mentioning just a little while ago. If we can go ahead and pull that up really quickly.
What system's that on?
They just told me it was on
Oh, okay. So
Lake
we've got some
Buchanan.
video from Lake Buchanan. Okay.
Yeah, so you know, you can see some of the hail that's been coming down across the area. So again, if you're not within that tornado area, or at least around it, we do recommend that you do go inside. Obviously, we're watching not only for strong winds that are associated with this, but obviously it's a ton of rain that's been coming down around the area, and then of course the hail that's coming down. So just be careful as those do start to continue to come in. As you can tell, everyone is being affected by this. So anyone within most of that area, or if you're within a severe thunderstorm warning, just take precaution. We obviously want you to be safe out there, especially as hail's been coming through.
Okay. Thank you so much. And remember, if you can safely let us know what you're seeing, video, pictures, report, go to kxan.com/report it. We don't want you to put yourself in harm's way in order to get a picture or a video. But if you're at a safe distance and you can send us something, then go ahead and do that. kxan.com/report it is the way to do that. So we're still looking due west of Briggs for the tightest rotation. There is some stronger straight line winds, though, southwest of Briggs. As that green brightens up, it is very possible that we've got some pretty nasty winds. And Tommy, you were going to look at the velocity here.
What we're seeing right now, obviously, is a little more of a broad rotation compared to 15, 20 minutes ago. Nick, you nailed it right on the head. We're seeing some damaging winds that are going to continue to work their way into Williamson County. This is south of Briggs. But also with this exact kind of velocity scan, we could see this tightening up yet again in the coming few minutes. So, we can't let our guard down. I know we saw it potentially drop down and lift. It's a potential tornado. It's also rain-wrapped, but we have to keep an eye on this.
And Nick, before you start, I just got word from the National Weather Service that after weakening, the rotation is now strengthening again just west of Briggs, with a rotating wall cloud being reported.
Okay, so let's try and, given that information, let's try and take that double box of our 2 live cameras back up again, if we can get that up, because we'll be on tornado lookout again. But due west of Briggs is where the tightest rotation would be. And on the left-hand side of your screen, I believe, is our Gabe Cox's shot. And then we've got Sarah and Jordan on the right. We can even just take the one camera unless Sarah's shot comes back. But at least that straight view. And this is going to be part of the difficulty here over the short term, is that there's some rain trying to wrap around the potential tornado. So it may make it very difficult to see where any potential tornado is.
Nick, if I may say
Yeah.
one thing, can we pull up reflectivity real quickly?
Yeah,
Because I want to
we got
explain
it.
the rain wrapping. You're seeing that cell on the west that's kind of merging with it, so it's completely now covered in rain. You have that cell just to the south of the tornado warning in northern Williamson County, and then you have that original cell with the tornado warning itself. So that's why it's getting really tricky for spotters, for Sarah, and for Gabe to locate this.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how this storm, getting pulled into the inflow of our tornado warned storm, what sort of impact it has. One would think that this is going to weaken it because it's going to shut off the inflow winds and help to rip apart our tornado warned storm there in Briggs. But it is not a guarantee that it does that. It's possible it gets pulled in and then we deal with a slightly bigger issue here. If you're watching us in Florence, you're on the borderline of being in our tornado warning. I still think you're in a safe spot at this point. Southeastern Lampasas County, if you haven't already, you can get out of your tornado safe places. Really, northeastern Burnet County is the focus right now. This is such a slow-moving storm. I think Freddie, you got some information?
Nick, yeah, just letting you know, we're going to go ahead and pull out Sarah from the area. It looks like they're a little concerned because of the storm and it getting strengthening one more time.
Yeah.
So Sarah is on her way out of the area.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the fact that it's rain wrapped means you can't see necessarily what's coming. And we lose the benefits of a live video of it anyway because we can't see it. So certainly Sarah and Jordan should get out of there. We've got Gabe Cox, who has been storm chasing. If you remember, we talked to him as part of our severe weather special here a couple of months ago.
Nick, we're also seeing, sorry to interrupt, we're also seeing some hail continuing to grow in size out toward that Burnet storm. So this is now over an inch. Clearly, we're seeing an updated severe thunderstorm warning for Burnet in that area along 281.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Tommy, how this storm was starting to grow and strengthen. There's Lake Buchanan, by the way. So just east of Lake Buchanan, east of Tau, is where we've got the growing hail core just to the west of Burnet. This is not a tornado-warned storm for you in Burnet, but you've got to be concerned about the hail that is growing there too. Let's move back east on our hail tracker here just to show you that we also have large hail in northeastern Burnet County on top of the tornado threat, northeast of Briggs. Not quite as large as the hail west of the city of Burnet, but certainly a hail threat coming with this storm as well, guys. Oh, and Jen, do you have something?
Yeah, just a quick update from Gabe. He says it looks like the cell coming in from the south is disrupting that circulation. So he currently is in Florence, and he is stable right now, but he's currently there. He might be moving shortly, but it looks like the cell coming in from the south is disrupting the circulation.
Yeah.
And Daniel has something that he's going to add real quick.
Yeah, I've been checking in on power outages. Good news right now is that we're not really seeing any widespread power outages. According to Proto-Analysis Electric, we've only got about 134 customers affected right now, mostly near Ocala. But again, we're not really seeing too many widespread power outages at the moment, Nick.
Okay, and the Ocala area was where we had our confirmed tornado from before. So that mixes very well with the information that we had about it being a tornado on the ground. You would expect tornado damage, as well as the report that we had about a vehicle getting pushed off the road because of that tornado from earlier. So this is not a confirmed tornado, this current tornado warning, and it's possible that it's being absorbed and disrupted by that storm to the south, as we've been mentioning. But for right now, we still have a tornado warning. Tommy?
Yeah, let's jump in with the tornado protocol. Let's pull up the full screen with the instructions of what to do if you were caught in a tornado warning.
Yeah, go ahead. And if you want to take our viewers through it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing is go to an interior room on the lowest level. Second thing to do is cover yourself with pillows and blankets. The third thing is, if you're in a mobile home, leave for a sturdier structure.
Nick, before you go ahead and start, I'm going to ask our directors to go ahead and jump over to Weather 2. We actually had a video that was sent in to us. This was the tornado near Briggs. This is courtesy of Ryan Murray. Went ahead and sent in this video that he was able to get safely. But as you can tell, there it is. There was the tornado. This was moments ago. And we thank him for sending this in. But again, we want to remind everyone, be safe out there. Don't jump in if it's looking a little dangerous. Obviously, get to your safe space, as Tommy was just mentioning. Nick, obviously we've seen, one earlier that was touch and go, and then of course that strengthening again. So we're going to continue to monitor these videos and photos as they come in.
Okay. National Weather Service just about to issue another downstream tornado warning for radar indicated rotation. So we're coming up pretty close on the expiration time of this current tornado warning, which is 5:45. And so what the National Weather Service will be doing any moment is issuing a new tornado warning farther southeast that may include more of Williamson County. So we're starting to get to the point that on the Williamson County line with Burnet, you may be considering and probably should head to your tornado safe space now, even if the strongest rotation is still closer to Briggs. And we have seen some continued weakening. It does not look quite as strong from a straight line wind perspective or a rotating wind perspective, but certainly enough that the National Weather Service considers it concerning enough to issue a new tornado warning that'll be likely southeast of this existing tornado warning. So as soon as we get that tornado warning information, the brand new tornado warning that'll be coming out here in just a few moments, then we'll go ahead and show that.
Yeah, Nick, for sure. And by the way, we had earlier just seen that severe thunderstorm warning that was in effect from 5:45 for northwest Burnet County. But we want to remind everyone, these are tornado warning precautions. Go to an interior room on the lowest level. Make sure that you're covering yourself with pillows and blankets, and leave mobile homes for any sturdier structures if you can. Obviously, we don't want you running out during a tornado that's in the area. Your best bet is to make sure you're safe. Tommy?
Yeah, and also some other cities that aren't in this tornado warning just yet, but have to be watching the radar really closely. Your friends and family, let them know. Liberty Hill, Leander. This is moving eventually now into central portions of Williamson. If we see that tornado warning get extended, it goes from the very northern tip of Williamson a little more farther south. So a few more higher population areas. Nick, we're seeing the expansion right now. It's flashing in the red polygons, continuing to move down.
Yep.
183.
Okay, so that tornado warning just coming in, a brand new one. And I just got some text here with Gabe that it is still a funnel. So it is lifted, but it is still a funnel. So that is why the National Weather Service have issued their new tornado warning. That also comes with the potential for 1.5 inches hail. This is for northwestern Williamson County, northeastern Burnet County. It'll go until 6:30. So that includes Briggs, as we've been mentioning. As the storm is so slow to continue to move through the Briggs area. It's actually moving south at 5 miles per hour. That's how slow it is. So while Williamson County getting included in that tornado warning, it is still going to be some time here before this storm actually fully crosses out of Burnet County into Williamson County. All right, we've got our own Sarah Alshed and Jordan, our photographer, back up. Is that their shot on the right, guys? Is that Sarah's shot? Okay, so that's still Gabe's shot, and now we've got Jordan and Sarah's shot on the right. And we're going to be not losing daylight completely here soon, but the sun getting lower in the sky, so it may be a little trickier to see some of these formations. On the left side there, from what Gabe is telling us, he's seeing enough rotation there to consider that a funnel. And so we still may be looking at a imminent tornado threat in the Briggs area. On the left-hand side of your screen is somewhat of a clearer view. It is certainly not a textbook-looking tornado. You've got very heavy rain, a large hail threat there too, but somewhat of a weakened, a raggedy-looking funnel. But you can see, if you pay close enough attention on that left image, you can see the rotation there, the somewhat gradual rotation of that potential funnel there, trying to drop another tornado. So we're still in tornado warning precautions in Briggs, in northeastern Burnet County. Bertram, you're technically in the tornado warning, but this tornado is not on top of you or anywhere close right now. It's only moving at 5 miles per hour.
Hey, Nick, I'm gonna go ahead and step in really quickly just to let those know. I know we've been saying counties, but in case you're wondering what some of these cities are, and I apologize if I'm getting some of the words wrong. But look, you can actually see some of the hail that's being held there in their hand. Obviously, you can see how big the hail is. It's a little hard to judge here, but we're being told that some of the hail that we're watching right now is obviously ping pong ball size. So we're warning everyone to just keep that. Oh, there you go. A much clearer image as that's starting to come in. So again, if you're in some of these cities within the county, Bertram, and apologies if I get the name wrong, Joppa, Mahomet, Andis, and Briggs. So if you're within any of those, just keep that in mind, that you are within that tornado warning that's in effect until 6:30. And as we mentioned before, make sure you take cover now, move to a basement or interior room on the lowest floor or a sturdy building, and avoid any windows. If you're outdoors, obviously make sure you're taking some type of shelter. But we've been able to see that expansion of that tornado warning that's in effect right now. So just keep that in mind. You can see there exactly where we're noticing some of those conditions at this point with severe thunderstorm warnings, obviously, obviously farther out as you get out towards Burnet. And it looks like we're getting a few more videos. So I'm going to let Tommy talk just a bit and show us exactly what he's seeing here. I'll jump on the radar for him, and then that way he can go ahead and take over. Nick, we got to give you a breather for just a second. Nick's been on, for about an hour and a half now. So Tommy, I'll follow your lead. Tommy, tell us what you're seeing and what you want.
So we're seeing two different things, Freddie. Thank you so much. So we're seeing that continued storm that's working its way farther south into Williamson County there. That's the rotation that we've seen with Gabe, we've seen with Sarah. That's continuing to be the topic of discussion here. That's down 183 into Williamson County. Freddie, if you can actually go a little bit farther west, I want to pull up that Burnet storm because we're seeing a little bit of some, obviously, ever with the velocity, but we're seeing definitely either some very strong winds or some broad rotation now being detected just to the east of Bluffton. This is around the Lakes region, in Burnet. Can you pull up the reflectivity real quickly for this one storm? This is west of 281, moving down to Buchanan Dam. So there's Kingsland. Yeah, it looks like to me right now we're just seeing a pretty strong hail core. Can you stop the reflectivity just so I can see what's happening? Get rid of the tag, zoom in for a second.
There may be a tornado trying to strengthen there too, near Buchanan Dam.
Yes.
So if we can get that, Freddie, if we can get the velocity on there, just north of Buchanan Dam, there's some tightening in the rotation there. So
hey, get rid of the tag real quickly. Can you zoom in a little more? Let me get rid of those and then just hit stop on the now. Hit pause on it. There's Bluffton. All right, so you see the radar for perspective is way over to the east. So you have your winds that are coming in this way, and then you have your winds that are going away from the radar. So go farther north toward Bluffton, right there. All right, we're seeing that could be something. I know it's on a little bit of the outskirts here of the radar velocity, but again, for context, let me show you. So this is the wind that's going toward the radar site. That radar site is farther to the east. The red, that's going away from the radar. So we're seeing that kind of wrap effect that would be somewhere in that Bluffton area in tow. Very broad rotation. We're on the outskirts of the availability of the Doppler, but still, Freddie, that's something we have to watch. Zoom out a little bit more. I want to see a little bit farther south what we're dealing with here.
Yeah, for sure.
Reflectivity too. Yeah, see, a lot of this is kind of just
yeah.
scattered out and messy. So there's not too much validity to this, but still, regardless, we have the hail. You pulled up those photos and videos, Freddie. So thanks for that. We have the lightning strikes. This is 1 to 1.5 inches hail that is being detected. Can you zoom in a little bit closer? I want to see the specific areas here that this is highlighting. Zoom in a little to the highways.
Yeah, for sure.
State Highway 29. There's Buchanan Dam. West Ranch Road 1431. This is all in the Burnet County cell. We're not in the Williamson one anymore for a second. We're kind of seeing two pockets here, right? We're seeing that first area toward Bluffton that had some of that broad rotation. And then we're seeing also a little bit two separate entities here. We have one with over 1 inch size. We have another one that's working its way east on Buchanan Dam. What is that, State Highway 29, Freddie, to the eastern cell?
To the eastern, yeah, it looks like we have 29 there. And then near Bluffton, it looks like we're getting a bit of strengthening there with some of the hail. You can see some of the stronger hail signatures that are starting to pop up within the area.
Can you go back to the velocity, please, real quickly?
For sure.
Can you put it in a 15-minute loop, if you don't mind?
Give me just a second.
All right.
There we go. Let's see.
All right, so it looks like there's really just not too much. I mean, this was the only thing that I was continuing to watch was that Bluffton area, Nick. But
yeah,
so that's something to watch in that Burnet one. Of course, you know, the Williamson one, Gabe's been keeping an eye on, and you've been watching that closely.
Yeah, the National Weather Service commenting on that Buchanan rotation as being side lobe contamination, and which is basically a radar issue where a storm looks like it has more rotation than it actually does based on the structure of the storm. So that is good news. Let us get back to that tornado warned storm in northeastern Burnet County. And let's do somewhat of a reset. Let's try and widen the view out actually and go to reflectivity just so we can catch people up on some of the other storms that we've got. Let's go even wider back to our usual view, because those of you watching us in Travis, Hayes County, eastern counties, you may be wondering what all the fuss is about, but certainly this tornado-warned storm now affecting northwestern Williamson County technically based on the tornado warning box has a history of producing at least one, possibly two tornadoes already. And certainly some very heavy rain here too. We could be dealing with some flash flooding concerns growing as well. And then we've got another severe thunderstorm warning in central and western Burnet County into Llano. And then another severe thunderstorm warning for Mason. So that's sort of the big picture. And in case you're in Travis County and wondering, okay, this tornado-warned storm is heading south, should I be worried? I'd say not yet. It's moving south at only 5 miles per hour. It will have to maintain itself a lot if it's going to travel all the way through Williamson County into Travis County. Freddie?
Yeah, it looks like we got an update from the National Weather Service as well. They're seeing exactly what you're seeing, which is that the rotation on the Briggs tornado is actually weakening considerably. And it's because of the storm within the south that's kind of disrupting it at this point. We are also getting reports from the Burnet County Office of Emergency Management, from the Precinct 2 Commissioner actually, that there's a lot of trees down along CR 223 where the first touchdown was. So they're right now working on the roads to get those drivable. But a lot of trees have been knocked down within the area. So if you have to drive along CR 223, just keep that in mind. Well, obviously you shouldn't be driving right now within this, but just know that you're going to run into some delays at this point because of a lot of debris that's on the road, a lot of them being trees that were knocked down at this point.
Okay. Appreciate that. National Weather Service continues to notice the weakening that we are seeing as well, which is a good trend. The problem with this storm and the weakening that we've seen is that this storm has had a history of weakening and tightening, just like the ones we had yesterday. We had hail and then it faded, and then additional hailstorms developed, as can happen with these sorts of things. So we're just going to stay with this a little while longer until we notice the weakening continuing in a more prolonged sort of way. Because right now we still have a tornado warning for northeastern Burnet County, and we still want you in your tornado safe place. Northwestern Williamson County. Tommy, could you just zoom in and hold the shot in northwestern Williamson County, right on the county line there, sort of splitting Burnet County with Williamson County. And then let's flip on the velocity mode. And on the right, of course, you're seeing a live view from our storm chaser, Gabe Cox, who's keeping an eye on the storm that has showed significant weakening. Tommy, let's play that rotation in just the last, say, 30 minutes or so, because I think it's been pretty remarkable how quickly it is falling apart, likely influenced by that storm that came in from the south. So I wouldn't be surprised if the National Weather Service ends up canceling this tornado warning early. So it's certainly a possibility that they're getting ready to do that. I believe the existing tornado warning continues until 6. So I'm thinking that it probably won't be able to last that long. So in the control room, let's prepare to either soon go to commercial break or join our newscast. But for right now, okay, they're now canceling the tornado warning for the Briggs storm and replacing it with a severe thunderstorm warning. So in northeastern northeastern Burnet County, still a dangerous storm, large hail, strong wind, but the tornado threat is rapidly fading away. So you can come out of your tornado safe places right now in northeastern sections of Burnet County, northwestern Williamson County, as our tornado risk is dropping considerably. As we said before, should the tornado risk redevelop, we will be back on the air letting you know. I think we're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back.
Sorry. Okay, mic check. Test.
Sorry, I was muted. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
We are watching several severe thunderstorms in parts of the metro and the hill country, some of which may be producing softball-sized hail. Team coverage continues on KXAN News at 6. Jen, if you
Yeah, I have been in communication with him. He has not responded yet, so I do believe he is repositioning. The last thing he told me was a very strong rotation. I'm trying to get a location as to exactly where he's headed, but we'll let you know as soon as we find that out.
You can see his camera moving right there.
Yeah, so often they'll reposition when they feel that either they could get a better view of a potential tornado from another place, or they feel that their safety is in jeopardy, and we certainly don't want Gabe putting himself in jeopardy just to get a shot of this potential tornado for us. No doubt, I'm sure he's keeping an eye out on his window there to the right, which is where the potential tornado is. And if he sees it drop, I wouldn't be surprised if he then pans his camera around very quickly. But for the time being, Tommy, let's switch over to reflectivity and take a look at the storm structure. So we do have the inflow